morning, good afternoon. Good to see everybody. It's hard to see with the light shining on my where to go. Ah, okay, hit the wrong thing, which is not unusual since I can't see from the sun glare off my. Uh,
Howdy, everyone.
okay, so you see our little operation going on here in the front yard this morning. It's hard to find public access where you can run a machine like this, where you have access to the public without getting in trouble. So we decided to get a stock tank, put some water in it, and set up our own high banking station in the front yard. So Curtis or Q and Dustin have been at this. We got it all set up yesterday, and it's been going pretty good. I have to say, it's been loud sometimes. Well, besides the high banker engine and whatnot, but sometimes Q gets very vocal when he gets frustrated. Hi, Dixie. Hi, Slim. Hi, Charlene. Yeah, we've missed being on too, but uh, Q's getting his step aerobics in. And the last few days have been really hectic and everything's been up in the air. Things that have been going on here and things that have been going on at camp and whatnot. And we needed to come up to the house to handle some of the stuff with the estate for a couple of days. And his mom had some appointments that she didn't have a ride to. So, you know, we've just been here, and the days have been kind of long because of getting. We're still working on clearing out the house and uh, handle, handling the paperwork that comes along with this. Every so many months, there's things that you have to do. So we had to handle some of that, and we decided while we were doing that, we'd see if we could get the rest of this sand we brought back from Georgia processed. And because it's so noisy here, and I can't sit out here in the sun very long without turning into a tomato, I'm going to troop back in the house where it's a little quieter. And it's been a stressful week. It's been a fun week, but it's been a stressful week too. It's one of those um, just when you think you don't want to challenge worse by saying it couldn't get worse, but just when you think you're standing on your last nerve, something happened and it was okay, or you got a laugh. So it was definitely a week of ups and downs, and we're going to. Uh, Q has one more appointment he has to take his mom to, so we're either gonna. I think we're going back to camp on Wednesday because I'm sure. Well, we've been away for almost a week, so there's a lot of stuff down there that has to get finished up. Some manicuring of the lots, of the spaces, and you would think for Sunday morning. I remember when Sunday morning there wasn't hardly any traffic till after lunchtime because church would let out at lunchtime, and then everybody would stop at their favorite restaurant to have lunch before they went on about their day. It doesn't work like that anymore. Like that. So I'm gonna head back in the house so I don't get any more red than I am. And So the computer and I will go back in the house while I see for freedom, while my phone stays out here for Dustin to babysit. And I gotta go in. This thing's too hot to sit at the table.
You get kids here.
So, huh? Yeah, yeah, that's what you're broadcasting. So we're gonna head back in here in the shade. Coda, yeah, that's tall grass. I know you're looking for shade too. Come on,
Hi, Mama Shirley, Mama Dan, Dixie,
come on.
and C4.
We'll hide out here in the shade. It's cool. Right there at my twisted desk. Rubber want to go out. Yeah, let's do that. Hi, Mama Jan. Hi, Charlene. Anybody else I missed? That sun's hot today. We had some monster storms come through last night, and it was pretty nasty there for a couple of hours with the wind and the lightning. Thankfully, we weren't, uh, those poor people in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, that got their apartment building got struck by lightning. That was terrible. But the guys are busy. So you got Dustin's best side. Hi, Lee. But Q said, well, let's go live. We haven't been live for a while. And we'll just have some fun out in the front yard. You watch him work with the high banker, and there's still probably 700 or 800 pounds of sand in the trailer. We need to use the trailer, so we got to get the trailer empty. We've got some scrap down at camp we need to take to the scrap yard and turn in. Add to the operating kitty. Speaking of which, I got the electric bill. I got to pay that. I see the emails. That's the only bad thing about getting your bills and your email is you open them up, say I have to pay that. You close it up and go to the next email, and then 3 days later you remember that you needed to go pay the electric bill. Well, there's not as much of that as there used to be. I'll put it that way, C4. He's working hard on it. And as you can see, he's a little self-conscious about that. But yeah, he's the last time we were we stayed when we went to see Jared and June and Freedom Angel Bree, which I got a really neat post from June that Bree got a birthday wishes from President Trump. That was really cool. It showed a picture of Bree holding her letter. But they had a gym at the motel that we stayed in, and it happened to have a scale. And Dustin said the last time he'd weighed himself, he weighed 350. And when he stepped on the scale there at the motel, he weighed 295. So he lost a small person.
and Q's working it off of him one day at a time. Yeah, I know, C4 Freedom. Yes, we're anxious for him, for his health. Um, it'll be much healthier for him uh, to lose the weight. And yeah, well, I guessed when I bought those pants. I bought him a couple of pair of jeans so he'd have something more than sweatpants to wear. And I guess I didn't guess too bad. Those are 46. So I think we're almost down to where we could go to a 44. But yeah, Charlene, we're real proud of him. The work he's done to lose the weight, and um, he was funny. It was funny. This morning he was outside with Buddy, and all of a sudden we see Dustin. I've never seen Dustin move. Well, I did see Dustin. Buddy gave us a bad scare the other day, and it was like it ruined the whole day because everybody was sitting around just crashed from the adrenaline. But we were out in the front yard, and we live on there's two major highways that go in and out of this county, and the one that we live on starts up at the Canadian border and goes all the way down to Tennessee, which is Route 219. And we were out front working with the gold, with the sand. We were doing some pans or something. We were just piddling around in the front yard, and I came in to fix supper, and I hear all this commotion in the front yard while they're working across the road. They're cutting timber, and somebody from the county had stopped by to post a zoning notice on the power pole. And Buddy saw him, and he took off running across the road. And there's a big, deep ditch over on the other side. It's about 4 feet deep. And I, thank all the gods above. There was no traffic at the time because Dustin practically teleported after him. And it was so scary, that little dog running across the road to bark at the guy who was putting up the sign. And yeah, Buddy was guarding the house. Yeah. But thankfully, Dustin had a mild heart attack over it. And no, seriously, he didn't, but he was terribly scared. And but the Buddy was okay, thankfully. There was a lull in traffic at the time, and everybody was doing okay. And Buddy wasn't hurt, and Dustin wasn't hurt because Dustin knows the ditch is there, but he was so scared for Buddy. I thought, oh my God, he's going to fall in the ditch and break a leg. Thankfully, he didn't do that. I think he teleported across the ditch too. I mean, Buddy jumped across this ditch. It's like 5 feet wide and 4 feet deep. It's a state road ditch. And it's the scariest moment I've had in a long time. And I don't need scary moments like that in my life. But everybody turned out okay. And Buddy doesn't get to be out in the front yard without his leash on, tied to a cement block so that he can't go anywhere. But the little devil just scared the heck out of all of us. Yes, because I don't know what we'd have done with Dustin if something would have happened to Buddy. He just, those two are kind of like peanut butter and jelly. They're stuck together. And it was very scary, very scary. Because, well, I actually added up how long we've lived along the road. We've lived here 53 years. Our family's owned the house. And in a world where people move every 5 years, that's an incredibly long time. And the first thing we do is well, with cats, you can train cats, but I think it's more like they train you. But our cats have always been really smart about the road. And we had one cat that if she wanted to cross the road, she went over and went through the culvert pipe. So our animals were a lot smarter than we are. But our dogs, we've always trained them where the boundaries are. And, uh, this is where you're allowed to go here and not over there. And they've been real good about that. But yeah, Buddy's learning. But we're learning to keep a close eye on the little devil. And yeah, Buddy likes Camp Freedom where he can just run all over the place. And we're going to get back there. I think we're going to get, he hasn't taught, I think we're going back Wednesday after the appointment on Tuesday. And then we'll be down there for a bit while we start to neaten things up. You've done all this major stuff and you've got all these piles scattered all around, and we're going to be leveling out the piles and manicuring things and bringing home the tools we don't need anymore, and all that stuff that just sort of gets scattered around when you're working on a project and you say, oh, I need this and I need that, and things just get scattered around. So we're going to start gathering all that up, and there's like the water tank and things that we don't use will be coming here. Plus, at the same time, I'm thinking about to help clear out some of the stuff that we had from the storage units, which we have stored in the basement and over in the storage locker. We have a leaf peeper festival here in October called Autumn Glory. County's been doing it for 60 some years. And I think that it's like a 4-day weekend type of thing. And I'm thinking that we're going to set up one of the big tents and just clear out the storage locker, the basement, the storage sheds, and just have this great big old yard sale. It's going to be like a $5, $10, $20 sale. It's not going to be where I put individual prices on everything, and just to clear the stuff out that has accumulated from storage units that we've bought and things that we've collected over the years. And because we're going to do some work on the house to, some paint and tear up the old carpet and, do some rehabbing of the house. Because my dad thought that, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we're going to fix some of those things up and decide what's going to, we have from now till probably, the estate closes in February. So we're going to make some decisions about what we're going to do with the house, if we're going to keep it or rent it or what we're going to do. I'm not sure yet. There's a lot of possibilities with it. It's in a area where you could make a good rental income off of it, because we're half a mile from a major resort lake. We're 6 miles from the ski slope if we ever get a winter with enough snow to ski again. So I'm not sure. Hi, Debbie. We have a lot of discussion to do with what we're going to do with the house. But yeah, we want to fix it up. It needs new windows. The windows are the original 1959 windows, and they're a little leaky. So just things like that haven't gotten done and need to get done before winter. So it's going to be a busy time since camp is kind of settled for right now. We've got the electric projects finished up, other than getting a pole and a transformer set. So that won't require our attention every single day, so that we can give our attention to some other things before winter weather gets here. And we got a couple of other things we want to do. Want to take a vacation a real vacation, not just 3 days running down to Georgia with the trailer and coming back. But we want to take a real vacation, like a week or so, and just get away. And that's we want to use the travel trailer that sits down at camp. So that's another reason we need to get things tidied up down there. And yes, hello to our lurkers. Good to see everybody. We're just having some fun on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, that's what I heard too. I don't know if we'll make it to Florida, Shirlene, because there just isn't any gold in Florida. Q wants to go where he can gold mine for about a week and run his high banker and maybe dredge a little bit. And it's been a while since I've been over on Facebook. We'll run over here and see who our Facebook person is. We're always glad to have everybody with us. And well, hi, Chris. Good to see you. The only bad thing about that, Shirlene, is y'all still in that 100-degree thunderstorm every afternoon thing you got going on down there. My brother and his wife are going down the last couple of weeks of August to see the new grandbaby that's in Orlando or Port St. Lucie. And Alana Rose was born on July the 17th. And other than pictures, all of us people live north of Florida haven't got to see her. Yeah, we have AC in the swimming pool. That's what you need to have in Florida. Hi, Carl. But oh, that's cool to know, Charlene. Yeah, the niece and her husband bought a nice place in Port St. Lucie. They got a corner lot that an excellent price for it, and the house is, it's a good size house and it's a good size lot. And they got a heck of a deal. They're a couple that fall into these deals. They just kind of wander around looking for a place to buy, and this popped up on the internet, and a few days later they had a new house. But it's a nice house, and it's in a nice neighborhood. It's the 90s neighborhood. So, and they have let's see, the oldest boy will be 6 in October. So now they have a 6-year-old, soon to be 6-year-old, and a newborn. So they're having interesting times. They're living in interesting times, as the old karma curse used to go. May you live in interesting times. But Charlene, I know you're kind of pinned to the house, but I know we're going to be probably in Dahlonega. I'm not sure where. We stayed in Helen last time, but if we take the camper with us, we'll be staying right on the gold claim, in the LDMA camp that's outside of Dahlonega, part of Loud Mine. Yeah, we have a friend that lives in the it's the 50s. I think his house was built in the 50s, the 40s or 50s, down in Miami. I mean, he's in the real old section of Miami, not the Spanish conquistador old, but they live in where the houses were ranchers, the mid-century ranchers, and all on one level, and there's an empty lot across the street from him, and you look up in the trees, and the raccoons and the iguanas are all stretched out in the trees. And well, Dixie, if you were going to make a move, Virginia is a commonwealth. I'd I'd move to West Virginia. Now, right now, their taxes are kind of wonky. They're low, but they have this property tax thing, which they're in the process of changing, where they tax everything, including the dogs. So you might look at the tax circulation or situation. Um, though you do, when you add it all up, you usually end up paying less taxes in West Virginia than you do in Virginia. But, check that out. A lot of people would rather live in a state as opposed to a commonwealth, even though none of the states are sovereign anymore. But if southern West Virginia is beautiful, big mountains, and in fact, we came through there the other week, down around Beckley, Bluefield, down in there. We came up 77. But yeah, that's beautiful country down in there, and they don't get a lot of winter. They get some, but not like we do up here. Yeah, Mama Jan, we're still trying to get to the ocean. um, I think we're also planning a New England trip. Um, we just haven't decided which way. I think because we want to go stop and see Jared and June and Bree, and then the only three states in the country, contiguous states, the only three contiguous states in the country I haven't been to, because we trucked everywhere. I haven't been to Vermont, New Hampshire, or Maine. That's the only three states I haven't been to. And I haven't been to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Um, so those are 4 places I'd like to visit. And when it's real hot down here, it might be nice to go north where they have bigger mountains and they still have gold. We were thinking about running up to Swift River in Maine. Yeah, Charlene, depending on the county. Now, each county is different because the county taxes are different. Hi, Two Finger Typer. How much gold have we found? Probably with the nuggets and pickers, I'd say between quarter and a half ounce, probably $200 to $300 worth. We haven't processed all the dirt yet. Now, Berkeley County's nice because they have a lot of unrestricted zoning. So if you get out on a piece of farm property, that makes it nice because you can pretty much do whatever you want to do to the property because it's unrestricted. Prices aren't bad. We were down. I've been down there a couple of times since my dad died, and prices are pretty much what you would expect them to be. Gas prices are running anywhere from, well, there for a while they were running about $3.14, but right now they're all running about $3.49, $59, $69, somewhere in that area. So prices aren't too bad. Housing prices aren't too bad. So yeah, Berkeley County, just my personal preference, I would prefer up near Berkeley Springs because they have the springs. They have a lot of nice state parks, Cacapon State Park, and a lot of nice places like that. Plus, you're closer to Romney where they have the big apple orchards and peach orchards. We were pricing peaches and apples down at one of the orchards in Martinsburg, and they wanted 20. Yeah, they wanted $20 more a bushel than what Romney, West Virginia did. So that's, if you're in Berkeley Springs, you're kind of right between the two areas. And Berkeley Springs, that area, you can go to Hagerstown or Martinsburg, or it has its own Walmart. Plus, it's in the old section of Berkeley Springs. It has all these little kitschy shops for the tourists that go to the mineral springs. So it's a cool combination of old and new. And the only bad part about that part of West Virginia is it's got DC creep is a lot of people that work in DC are kind of creeping that way. Yeah, there you go. Chris tells you that he's in Jefferson County and it's expensive, but his mom's in Berkeley County and it's not as bad. Jefferson County has a lot more of that DC creep than what Berkeley County has. But considering the thing, but you're in a good central location right there. I mean, you're close to 81 and 70, and you can go about anywhere. You corridor H, you can hop on a 4-lane and end up wherever you're wanting to get to. I mean, if you lived in an area long enough, like when we lived out in Dallas Fort Worth, we lived north of Irving in a little suburb called Bedford, and it was right across the street from the Tarrant County College. And nice area, quiet, nice apartments, nice neighbors, not a lot of hot, traffic, and just a nice neighborhood. And this was in 1990. We went through there when we did 2014 to 2016. We did gold mining and U-ship and all kinds of things. And we were out running around all over the place. And the neighborhood we lived in 1990 is gone. It's in fact, there's a Mixmaster where we used to live. So it's just crazy how the metropolis creep starts, and all of a sudden you're living in one big megalopolis, or whatever you want to call it. When I lived in Denver in the 80s, they were talking about keeping green spaces between like Boulder and Broomfield and Denver and Colorado Springs, because they were afraid of that becoming just one great big city along the Front Range. Yeah, I have a cousin that lives in Damascus, and he and his wife both worked in D.C. He took early retirement to take care of his mom. She got so she couldn't live by herself, and so he moved her. Well, he was going to move her in with them, and had a nice little apartment type sit-in suite. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Had a suite fixed up in the house for her, so she could have her privacy from them. And she fell and broke her hip. And when they did her hip replacement, something happened in the brain, and she can remember. She has a great memory from before her surgery, but after her surgery, it's like she has Alzheimer's. She has a terrible short-term, that it affected her short-term memory. Her long-term memory is fantastic. She remembers all of us and talks about all of us, but her short-term memory, they had to place her in a nursing home for the rehab and everything. She thinks she's in a resort hotel. They wait on her. They cook her breakfast. She's having a great time. Yeah, Dixie, Florida, it was the same way. When we trucked in Florida, there were great big open spaces, watermelon fields and potato patches, and because we went down and picked up produce and citrus, and now it's just houses and ticky-tack, and it's crazy. Mobile home communities. Lady that my dad worked with, that she lived in Port St. Lucie for like 5 or 10 years after she retired, and when she got tired of living in Florida, she moved back up here full time. And in fact, that reminds me, I need to go see her. Yeah, it's crazy. Anything, Jacksonville used to have this small town feeling to it, sort of like Dallas and Fort Worth. Fort Worth was kind of small town, and Dallas was big city, or thought they were. And Jacksonville was the same way. They were, had that nice small town feel. We have friends that live in the Jacksonville area that we went to visit, and beautiful neighborhoods and quiet. And now it's just all rush, and like I said, ticky tack springing up like weeds everywhere. Oh, I know, Shirlene. That was what's crazy. Yeah, I mean, we truck through there all the time, and like I said, have friends there, and it's a shame, really, how bad things have gotten, and it's not just. I mean, it's every place. It's like people have become so we've taught them, or they've been taught that they're so entitled that they feel like they can do anything and get away with anything, and other people don't matter. And it's like, that one they showed that video on Fox of the guy going in with the trash can and stealing all the cigarettes, and the two guys beating him up. Well, the two guys that beat him up are in more trouble than the guy that was doing the stealing. So how crazy is that? So until we get rid of that, oh, I'm entitled to this because, and fill in the blank, then it's going to be um, the way it is, because people are going to feel like, well, just because you have it, I can take it because I'm entitled to it. And one of these days, like the guys that fought back, so nope, it's ours. You're not entitled to anything unless you're going to give me money for it. So yeah, I mean, even here, I hate to say it, uh, we had one really bad incident, and I don't know if the fact that the people got caught so fast, kind of, because the cartels were trying to creep in from DC, of course. Everything good, very tongue in cheek, comes from DC. And oh, I know, Carl, it's crazy. And it involved drugs, and there was an incident in a small town about 10 miles from here. And there was a man shot and killed. And luckily, they had already been investigating these people and were just getting ready to make arrests whenever this murder happened. So that was all, real quick. They were all in jail, and still in jail and not getting out anytime soon. So that kind of put the kibosh on the cartels trying to move in here. So, and it was the Mexican cartels that have been coming over with all the migrants. And property values are gone crazy. We have 57 acres that was part of my grandparents' farm that when they died, they didn't have a will, so it was split among the three kids. And being part of my dad's estate, we had to have it appraised because it's agricultural land. And the assessed value in the county assessor's office is like $8,000 because there isn't anything on it. It's agriculture, it's cow field, it's pasture and hay fields. And they had the real estate agent do an appraisal on it. Well, my cousin has been buying land all around the farm because he's making like a big hunting club. He's a big wig in the local bank, and he's making a hunt club. And the piece of ground, that 57 acres that is assessed for $8,000 on the county rolls, the real estate appraiser appraised it at 200,000 because of how much my cousin is paying for all these little farms and parcels of land that are coming up for sale. So it's crazy. Oh yeah, Florida, Hollywood, yeah, I'm sure a corner lot especially, because usually they're a little bit bigger than what the average lots are in a subdivision. So, oh, I see they're getting ready to do a clean out. Got anything interesting on the mat?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Can you see it, guys? Oh yeah. Beautiful.
This ain't gonna have a lot of orange. That other one did.
Let's give you a sneak peek up here for the indicator mat. A sneak peek. It's a teaser.
It's a spoiler.
Only a spoiler if you've seen it.
Hands.
Needless to say, Q gets more water on him than he
That
does.
sounded awesome. Can I hear a freedom?
Yeah. Football. There's three up over there.
Woof woof. Woof woof.
Rock said, "Well, y'all
Just
talk."
don't go across the street.
Yeah, Rock knows better than that.
Snoop Dogg.
Trader said, "The heck with being out there in the hot sun. She's in here."
Came in that box up in the front. Need the other hose in. Need so that can start to get it.
That's not gonna be easy to shoot. Let's see if I can do it this way. I know how to do it.
Just don't dunk my phone in the water.
I won't, Miss Paul. I won't. I'm switching you guys the other way. So the power button's on the downward motion. Making sure everything is nice and tight. All right. Let's go this way. Can you see it?
Not yet. You got to go up further.
Nope. Can't go up further. This tripod's in the way. Well, it's a teaser, like I said. We'll show you when it's panned out. Get this camera flipped around again.
Oh yeah, Carl. All the big celebrities are on crazy. Tennessee used to be a really cheap place to live. The only taxes they had down there was the sales tax. And yeah, so everybody decided that was the place to live. Now, used to be I wouldn't live in Nashville on a bet because that was a creepy place to live. But if you got out, got out away from Nashville, it was really cool. Well, while he's washing that out, I'll give you a little. Let's see. We can get this to come out. I'll turn some light on. I'm not big for. I like to live in the dark here. Let's see. If we can see some of these bigger pieces. Let's turn it around this way. That we got. That's some of our nuggets we got. Most of our gold's out in the snifter bottle. We have a little bit in here. Oops. I keep forgetting where the camera thing is. But there's probably 2 or 3 penny weight here. And probably another, these big pieces. There's some that would make really nice necklaces. Pendants. Because they have a lot of character to them. A lot of nice face to them. And that's probably another, probably 3 or 4 penny weight. There's 20 penny weight to an ounce. A troy ounce. Troy ounce is only 12 ounces. They make a nice sound. But a jeweler would buy these to make pendants, and they're what's considered specimen pieces, so you'd get a little bit more money for them. And yeah, Charlene, they pick an area that they want to live in, and they will pay above market to get to live there. And because this is 23 karat, you get a little bit more than the spot price that they would pay. Spot's usually 10% less than what the market is. So it's say if the price is $2,000, you'd get 19, probably 19 an ounce for it. But we'll go back over here, see what these guys are up to. Cleaning carpets. Clarksville, that's the one that's up by the niece that lives in Florida. They bought up there when all the kids were in the Army at Campbell. And my niece's future husband did a house here in Clarksville because they were all stationed at Fort Campbell.
Now, what's that called again? And that's an indoor-outdoor carpet right now you're cleaning?
It's loose box, man.
Yeah, Carl, and that was back when it was $20 an ounce. That was before it got up to presidents. we did get our first piece of investment the other day, and it's on my. I have a video, and it's on my other phone. It's on my phone. Dustin's using.
Oh, the one out here.
But we got a $20 Saint Gaudens gold piece from 1928. That we added to all the Morgans and peace dollars and all the other ones we've collected.
It's golden.
Hi, Julius.
Wait, Julius. I know that name.
Dry and cut liquidity. And while we're watching this ongoing process here, because I know we've been naughty and not been on as much as we should be. I forgot to put my title on. Let's see, what did we call this? Okay, we called it. Forgot to title my Rumble. The typing fingers are even out of
Let's
practice.
show you the finished project, guys. The gold fever addiction needed to be fulfilled, so we'll show you that when it's finished.
Now we got that little glitch fixed. We'll go back over here to whoop. You have been playing in email and deleted things it's allowed to delete. Let's see if we can find them.
Oh, this is our own little flume right here. I just realized that.
Your own little what?
It's our own little gold flume.
Oh,
Yeah, it took a little bit of Q and miscue engineering, but yeah, that is a great idea, Julius, on the high banker, sluice box, and the water tub.
You go to your nearest farm supply store and buy a stock tank.
Yep.
Water. Or if you have a swimming pool, they work good. If you need a high banking pond, just use
Unless they charge you $400 to fill it up.
Oh yeah, Q went to Walmart a month ago. Those like 16 feet around and 4 feet deep. And I called down here to the local spa place. It used to be the volunteer fire department would fill your pool for a donation. Well, they don't do that anymore. So I called down here to the well service and I said, "Where do y'all get your pools filled and your hot tubs?" And she said, "Well, if we sold the pool or hot tub, we fill it. But otherwise, there's this guy and he has a tank truck and he fills it." So I called him up and I said, "Well, what does it cost? What would this cost?" And he said, "Well, it would take 2 tanker loads and it's $200 a tanker." And so it'd be $400 to fill up a Walmart swimming pool. And I said, "No, I don't think so. We don't need a swimming pool that bad."
We're trying to make them find the money, not waste the money.
So it turns out that a 300-gallon stock tank is cheaper than filling up.
Oh.
Yeah, you see that black?
Yeah, I see it.
What does that mean?
No, it means that you have magnetite and garnet sand.
Means you're in a good spot for gold. Don't mean to go find it.
If there's a good possibility you'll find it.
Damn it.
Yeah, Polycast is my other nomenclature. They're using my phone. Been around since
Check that gold. We're paying this.
oh, let's see here. I don't even have a pull up a YouTube page here. It's so weird sometimes. Oh, cute, Mary.
What's the
Did we get it from that? That's what it sounds like outside. Whenever I don't have you muted.
Oh, yes.
Okay, guys.
Yes, I know. I got to move the camera.
What are you
Pinfall or
doing?
submission? Charlene, pinfall or submission?
Yeah. You gotta get him a chest harness.
Right? God. What is those? Says GoPro. The cats wear, dogs. Get a collar GoPro. There we go. Beautiful.
Nice little piece of crystal. Snow quartz. That's right, Mama Jan. Yeah, Carl, we filled the stock tank out of our well, and we just were careful. You know, we didn't suppose. It was cool back in the days when the volunteer fire department did it for a donation. Unless some people got really stupid and said, "Well, here's $10 for your trouble," which I can see some of these lake people doing that.
You better pay attention. I'm giving away one of my panning secrets there.
Yeah, we find always coming out with new pans and new ways to do. Reinvent the wheel when it comes to gold mining, and some of them work better than others. Yeah, Mama Jan, she could be a lunch lady that's a patriot at the same time. I know what you say. I heard that, Charlene. I'm right there with you. I rode a school bus for 4 years, and good kids.
Yeah. To go with that, Shirley, and I've seen a lot of kids talking about smart mouth. They wouldn't have the patience to do what Miss Q and Patriot Q Pop does.
Well, most people get their money from the Federal Reserve. I get mine from Mother Nature. It's in there. Right in there.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't seen that yet. I've been flipping through the headlines here and there, but I haven't seen that.
Now we're gonna get dangerous.
Eh. Woo!
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Got the shovel over there.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, the FBI shot a 75-year-old man in Utah because he made threats against Biden before his scheduled visit.
Oh.
That's that.
Oh, StreamYard had that feature, Mama Jan, but yes, I'll zoom for you.
Move him in for a close up there, Dustin.
Might be in your way.
Huh? Sounds good.
Oh, lots of garnet sand, lots of magnetite.
Wait,
Almost all garnet sand.
wait until the beauty starting to pop. Oh.
Is it
There's
hiding out in the sand?
Yeah.
Here it comes.
like magic. Yeah, watch this. It's even more magic. You figure gold's the heaviest thing in there, right? You probably can't climb. But if you think that very long, you'd be wrong. Just watch.
You don't get my nice clean gold all dirty.
Ain't got enough sand out of it. Let's get some more sand out.
I'll get it closer again once he's ready to sniff it up the bottle. Or snuff it up.
Slip this gold.
That's what I mean, the gold, not the dirt.
We're doing that. Look, it's right there. A bit of time.
Well, Carl, all the stuff they have to distract with these days, I'm surprised anybody knows left from right and up from down, let alone what gender they are. They keep telling us where we have to eat, what we have to watch, and how we have to binge watch. Yeah, that's what I find. It kind of tickles me, I guess, because I do a lot of studying on world religions and different traditions and indigenous traditions, and there's especially amongst the ones that believe in reincarnation, they say you sit down with, whatever you call your source, your creator, and you tell them the lessons that you would like to learn and how you would like to learn them and the sex you would like to be, all before you're born. And then you're born, and when you're born, the trauma of birth, you lose that memory of the conversation that you had, and you spend the rest of your life relearning what it was that you sat down with your creator and decided that you wanted to do with this life. So all this stuff about gender fluid, gender, not knowing what gender you are, that always struck me as odd. No, Carl, this is from Dahlonega, Georgia, from the Kristen Mine.
No, but we might take a look at camp and see if they got gold in certain places.
Now, actually, this isn't a secret. This you can go right straight to the Kristen Mine store and tell Miss Tammy is a dirt you would like, and she'll sell you as many bucket loads of mine dirt as you would like to buy. And then you can take it home and
Snuff it up.
and
Take it home and snuff it up.
With him wearing his Kristen mining hat. Oh wait, Miss Q is too, and I think Brutus is too.
I like that, Julius. I hope she wasn't wearing her fake fingernails when she was milking the cow. Cows don't like sharp fingernails. That's a good way to get kicked in the head.
Get the last drop.
Look at this, 8 buckets. Not bad at all.
All right, watch this. We're gonna get the bit.
Garnet sand's gonna climb with it.
There, guys.
Flower gold.
It's like that. I believe that's all of it. That'd be all of it. Just a little bit of garnet sand left. That's some pretty sand, too. I'd like to have a whole beach of that sand. Okay, yeah, look at the top. Here's all your waste dirt. Here's your garnet sand at the end, see?
Oh, yeah.
And don't forget, you still got your other pan there to pan out. This
You
is the
thought
other-
we were done. Ha!
That's gonna sit down in here. Well, this might have a little bit in it. Not much. Well, might have a lot of it. Oh no, that's the other half. Okay. I was thinking
Yeah,
this is the catch pan.
No, that's not your catch pan. That's the other half when you split them.
I gotta get away from this damn table.
Sure thing. Well, looky there. What, the gold or the garnet sand?
See the sand there already. That means the whole thing underneath there to the first ripple was nothing but black sand and gold. When it shows up like that up there. We don't want to fool with that. We're going to get this brown stuff up.
When you go to Kristen Mine and get your gold dirt, tell Miss Tammy that Oro Expedition sent you.
Get a little special something if you do that. Miss Tammy, take care of it. See how it goes back to black? Watch this. Back to brown.
And if I'm correct, that's because of the jet dry changing the velocity, or yes.
It's basically because the brown stuff's a lot lighter than the black stuff. Because it's just dirt.
The jet dry just changes the turbidity of the water.
Yeah, jet dry won't let your gold float up on top, which if it's small enough gold, it'll float. Especially in that dirty water.
Guys, if you're here witnessing it firsthand, whoo, it's different than watching it on live.
Give us a little while, they'll be able to. The next Camp Freedom's gonna have gold mining involved in it. Imagine that.
I'm looking.
We ain't done building. We just done building in Martinsburg.
Yep. (1776) Camp Freedom is still 1776 Camp Freedom until the day Oro and Miss Q pass on.
We give it to St. Jude Children's Hospital. That's where it's going to win up at.
Last one on my bucket list.
Oh, and trust me, Brutus will have this legacy growing as well as St. Jude. I will do whatever it takes for St. Jude.
Keep on the garnet sand.
Oh, what?
You get to keep on the garnet sand. This stuff.
I'll put the garnet sand in like a memorial plot for you guys. The Q's garnets.
Careful here.
You have to go to the Tallapoosa River in Alabama to get them like that.
Yeah, you want real garnets, you gotta go to Alabama. This is just garnet sand.
No, if you do some mining in North Carolina, you could probably find some nice sized garnets.
North Kakalaki?
Or Virginia. There's actually a town in Virginia called Garnet Hill.
Yep.
Just like there's a town called Goldvein.
People say, oh, how do I find gold? Or how do I find this? One good way is what you just said, you. Check the names of towns. If you got a town by the name of Goldvein, there's a pretty good chance somebody found some gold somewhere around there. Same way out west. Most of your towns that are...
Shirlene, is it's all just the distraction. It keeps us distracted from what's really going on.
And the way to get away from the distraction?
Go burn.
Come on, let me say it, man. Make your own real money.
Go get you some of this.
There used to be
That's some prettiness.
Go get you some of that.
Oh, that's pretty.
Let's put it back where it belongs in that first riffle. So we can get some more donut.
what was John Prine, the song with Spanish Pipe Dream. I have to see if I can find it. He was a old folk singer from way back. But the chorus was to blow up your TV, throw away your paper, go to the country and build yourself a home.
Not Conway Twitty, is it?
No, like John Prine.
Nice.
I've noticed when you're panning, water's your best friend.
Be your worst enemy. Pretty much a. But too fast.
Yes, you got to know what you're doing, or you'll end up dumping it all out. The next thing you would say was, if you're out in the desert and you don't have any water, then what do you do?
Dry wash.
You have an apparatus called a dry washer, and then you have to still clean up your concentrates.
You do the same thing with air you do with water.
Now, in some places in the Arizona desert, they do drill wells and put in stock tanks for the ranchers that have grazing rights on the BLM land. So you can always find a nearby stock tank and fill your water tank, and you have enough water to pan with. Yeah, dry washing and vacuum is the next thing on my wish. I'm not talking about the vacuum you use in your house either. Dustin, you're making me dizzy. What are you doing?
I was going to do a close up, but too many rocks still.
Yeah, he's good for getting as much water on him as in the pan.
Carl said, the way you had put all the water on you, it looks like you peed. Don't splash it all over yourself.
With me, the big Gonna get wet if you're gonna go, man.
The only person I know that needs chest waders to use a recirculating pump. Holy cow, what's YouTube up to? Yeah, come to think of it, my chat just refreshed too. Oh, our sluice box is fine, J6 Charity Fund. Just need a bigger recirculating pond.
go for the gold.
Well, let's see what you got.
We're gonna get some more out.
That sounds like Miss Q's got the fever bad.
She never not had it. Once you have it, you don't get rid of it.
I know.
This dirt came from Dahlonega, Georgia, J6 Charity Fund. Some of the mines down there, you can buy it by the bucket, by the jar, by the bucket, by the loader full. One of the ways they make money with.
We'll go this much.
Crescent Mine and Consolidated Mine in Georgia both do that. Oh, look at out.
Look at that. Ooh.
Peeking out from under the garnet sand.
They said, wait a minute, now I want to go back into garnet sand.
The trick to getting it in the snuffer bottle is to get a clean groove to put it in. See? And then tap it down.
Ooh, straight line.
Ooh, look at that. What's that? Oh,
Jet
good
drop.
guy. Good guy.
Oh, that might be the little bit of soap I used last night.
Yeah.
That's a little more soapy than jet black.
Yeah, that's a couple of drops of dishwashing soap.
Still works. It's a little harder to see through.
I was cleaning last night's gold. Six.
Thank you for the update, J6 Charity Fund. We check it on a daily basis. You're saying it's $1,900 per ounce today. I'm like, yes, we check it on a basis.
So it's like hourly.
That's why I said on a basis. I didn't say daily.
Been checking hourly for 10 years.
Yeah,
It's
we
all
watched
over now.
from 800
All
to
right.
100.
We've got this nice clean water here.
Don't lose my nuggets.
Don't lose the nuggets, she says.
You don't know me to lose any gold. Come on. It's camera ready.
Ooh, that's a beautiful color.
That's 2 days worth. That's 14 buckets.
Here's what we're looking for. Solid gold, babe. 24 karat.
3.
23. That's Miss Q correct. Buddy, stay.
Oh. Rock solid. What we got?
Okay, Charlene. Yeah, you got to get the ones that won't fit
That's a
through.
picker.
Yeah, it won't fit through the.
There's the other one won't fit.
Yeah, Carl, you use either jet dry or a little
Rest of those angel wings.
to change the turbidity of your water so that the gold doesn't float.
Changes the surface tension.
Yeah. Because some of the flower gold or what they call sprayer eyes will actually float if you don't change the tension in the water. So what do you got there? About a penny weight?
Maybe closer to 2 with the nugget. Probably 2 penny weight so far.
That's right, J6. Gold 2 times here in the water.
Gold vacuum away.
Yes, they are.
That's all she wrote.
Oh, almost there. I'm trying towards the sink. You go this way.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, it's on the way across, plus that nugget about penny weight and a half to 2 penny weight. That's it. I'm gonna stand and take my.
Yeah. You gonna chat with your live stream for a bit?
Huh?
You gonna chat with them for a bit?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks, Julie.
Oh, we got flags flying out here. All right. Freedom. Look at that American flag flying.
Yeah, you'll see more of them going up and down the road.
Nice little gold flume setup over there.
Yeah. Flume on the brain. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you haven't said hi to the people yet, bud. Buddy.
Look, he hiding out in the shade. Oh, there he is. $20 for an ounce. And an ounce is 12. Or a pound. Yeah, 12 ounces to the pound, a troy pound.
That's right, Mama Jan. He's a free puppy. Freedom puppy. Freedom puppy.
Yes, you need to get dried off. You're going to be around too?
Do what?
Is there going to be round two?
I don't know. Is there going to be round two?
That's what I was asking Q.
Oh.
He said yes.
The freedom.
We just cleaned out some real money from the
It's
sand.
round two at the creek.
I heard that one. Round two at the creek.
Town creek.
My boots don't get wet, so I'm ready to get wet.
You don't remember Town Creek?
Yeah.
That's where we need to be on the next round.
Oh, no, I meant out here for what you still have out there.
Yeah, we're gonna get
Yeah.
on.
Oh.
Take a break.
We only got 8 more buckets.
You guys talk for a couple of minutes. I got to get down and get something out of the freezer for supper. I forgot to do that before we started. So I'm going to turn you up to you and Dustin.
I think it was 8 buckets altogether so far. We got 8 more to go.
We got a trailer load to go.
Well, you know.
Another 3/4 ton. Set it where you can read. I can't see.
I'll get some more.
What's you got y'all looking at?
Gold flume. Actually.
Not a gold flume.
Buddy. For a second.
I can't see. Over here in this chair, I guess. Things chairs. Don't see what's going on. Oh, that's better than I can see. Sorry for the quick drop there. Yeah, his pain, damn, I still can't see it. Yeah, to answer the question, round 2, we got to do some cleanup first. Got some dirt in the water and get dirt out of the water. Bunch of wood, bark, old bark and stuff that comes out of the sand that's in there. Plugs up the holes in the machine.
Yeah, I told him he had to talk for a minute. What happened, Carl? Did you get rained out, or was it too dry? He said his fall garden. He got his fall garden, and his spring one didn't do very good.
I don't know where you are with it dry and rain.
While you start, though, you're going to start that. I'm going to have to turn my volume down here. Feedback. I might go visit Julie. She said she's got four racks of ribs in the smoker.
Probably like that around hungry skinny people.
Hungry skinny,
Only had one rack.
hungry skinny people that can eat their weight.
I'm over YouTube.
Yeah, I didn't want to. If you went to StreamYard, I didn't want to make an anomaly.
You're on your camera, man. I'm getting there. Show them that trailer full of what's left of the sand. That's going to be next job, filling buckets. Come on.
Buddy's good boy. He's out there and stop some peas on the truck first.
Yeah. He's going to
The best thing is he doesn't make it on the tires. I will show you what's left here momentarily. Give me a few seconds while I sit down.
Anything's stupid.
What's funny is that skinny grass when the wind blows it, and it's like, what is that? There is a stream at Camp Freedom, but it's doesn't carry a lot of water except when it's raining.
More or less.
Most of the streams there are spring fed, so. Yeah, the Nuggets, they usually take they can get some earrings out of them for Dustin.
Well, what would you say? About a ton and a half, man? Maybe? Ton?
3/4 ton.
1,200 pounds, 1,500 pounds.
Yeah, that's a nice project right there.
You can put it in vials and keep it, or you can smelt it down into ingots, get the ingots out of it, and make it in gold bars. Yeah, we get to doing
1
this.
kilo bar. Bam.
We get to do this a little bit more and get that much.
It's too noisy out here, guys. I'm gonna mute me.
Need to be figuring out how to get that gold well in the water.
Yeah.
That's the gold getter. I'd really like to keep all this sand in that tub and run it all through gold well, just to see if we missed it.
Well,
It could be we didn't miss any.
no. Well, that's what I'm thinking was we didn't miss any.
Them angel wings, they're almost crazy how they're all the same size.
Yeah. Well, they're not much for floating though, so
Need to pull a couple of them out and put them under the new.
under we got this well, it's called a coin scope, and it's to look for flaws and errors in coins, like stamping errors, and but it works great for anything because it's just a nice little microscope. It was like $33 on Amazon, and you can check your rings for damage. You can look at your coins for damage, or like I said, some of them have mistakes on them and they're worth more than the regular coins. So, yeah, party at Julie's. Plus, it's got the capability. You ought to see about that. Get that fixed.
I'm trying to fix it right now. It keeps getting worse. One's in there, I'm fixing it.
Yeah.
Now, what I was going to say was, there's some people I've heard on the rumor mill, which I don't pay much attention to, just enough to stay ahead of things. There's a rumor has it that 1776 Camp Freedom has disappeared, gonna be gone with the wind. The problem with that is, we're not just not going anywhere. We are adding our own money supply.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was.
We are building our fortune for Camp Freedom out of gold and silver and gemstones.
Yeah, we got a really odd text message last night about that. About people coming for 1776 Camp Freedom, and
yeah, I'm all right, Mama. A little bit of Huckleberry Kush. Got me. That Huckleberry kick butt.
With what Q was just saying, just to add on to it, finding the gold is the money source. That's the true money, the real money, not Federal Reserve notes, as you will.
He needs to be on camera when he's talking.
yeah.
I'm switching it.
I don't know, J6 Charity Fund. You can only go by the video you see on YouTube, I guess.
Finished as leader and basically announced that he was done. But there's nothing going on with the restoration movement. They're still leaving the website up. All the materials for the state people are still available. Everything for the national team, everything according to Santa on his live, said that everything would still be in place. The only change was that he wasn't the leader anymore.
Yeah, so you need to go
He
over
was not going to be doing any lives for the next.
you need to go over to Santa's YouTube channel and watch
As far as
the latest
RM being
video.
folded, no, that's just rumor. If you're saying that 1776 is done, that's not accurate information. Because he made it clear that everything was still available. The only thing that was changing was the leadership.
Yeah. The leadership is changing, but all the information is still there.
Right. So there you have it from somebody who watched the whole video last night. I watched Santa's video, I also watched Mag's video. Mag propped up 1776 RM because that's what they're part of. And there's some people might think that there's some kind of problem between us and RM, but there never has been. It's anything that's been a problem is people coming up with stuff, making up stuff, and feeding a rumor mill about us and RM and us, me and Santa and everything else. It's been a whole year of, I'll just say it plainly, bullshit.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to the bullshit, that's one thing. If you want to listen to truth, you just tune in to Mad Republic.
Yeah, well, the rumor mill gets started, and instead of going to the source, people just keep feeding the rumor mill because I guess they would rather create drama where there isn't any as an attention-getting device than just going to Santa's channel or Mag's channel or our channel and listening to what we say or they say. So
and there's always going to be somebody who say, "Oh, because Santa left, that it's over." Well, that might be true, but it's not true today.
yeah, I mean, leaders come and leaders go.
Remember, it's not true today. So if you want to talk about the future, then it's possible. But today, 1776 Restoration Movement, as far as I know from watching the videos, is still in place.
Yeah, it's
nothing's changed there. They still have their teams out in different states. Some of those teams have been doing a really good job too.
Yeah, some of the state teams have been doing fantastic things. So it's, we need everybody. So all this back and forth and, divisiveness is just.
There's a lot of people, there's a lot of people that, the word that you're looking for there, J6, is infatuated. There's a lot of people infatuated with Santa as the leader. I'm just talking more truth. And I know that because I lived with him for 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, leaders come and leaders go, but if the group is cohesive and the group carries on, another leader will cream rises to the top.
If Restoration Movement, 1776 Restoration Movement is supposed to be a thing, it'll carry on. Like Ms. Q said, another leader will come to the top and make it work because it is a great idea to be out there spreading the word. We chose to build a campground. They chose to move on and spread the word. Two different things for the same reason. It's a great thing.
Well, and a strong group is not, I mean, I know there's groups out there that build around one person. And we saw it with, the stuff that went on last year. You had one or two people that started the group and they were what held the group together. And when they left the scene, then the group disbanded. But if you have a strong, cohesive group that truly works together, it doesn't matter who the leader is because somebody will step in. It's not about the leader. It's about the group. It's about the message. And the person standing at the microphone doesn't matter. Now, I mean, some people have more charisma than others when it comes to standing in front of the microphone. But there's a lot of great people out there with a lot of great things to say. So the strength of your group is based on your group, not on one person.
That's right.
And that's right, Shirlene. We're all working for the same mission.
Okay, J6, that's right. And I agree with you. What they are doing, and I've said this before, so it's not a secret. What they are doing is being done by millions of people. So it might seem that it's not enough or whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, if there's one person waving an American flag, that's standing up. It don't matter how many people there are. It don't matter what it is you're doing, as long as you're doing something positive towards saving the republic and saving our rights.
Well, sure. If one, like Q said, if one person stands up and says, no, that's not right,
I know, Jason.
then, then we keep going. And one will make two, and two will make four, and so on, and so on, and so on.
Stirring the pot makes for a great conversation sometimes.
Well, we don't all have to walk in lockstep. We don't all have to agree on every little point. We can have a conversation about that. We can have a debate. Now, what we don't need to be is hateful and name calling. But
J6 better be careful. She has really long claws. I'm just gonna sit and watch.
Yeah.
Careful who you pick a fight with.
And J6, watch your words.
Well, Mama Jan can hold her own with words.
I know Mama Jan can hold her own, but we don't do hateful here.
No hate.
I know Mama Jan personally, and we don't need to, as Miss Q just said, we don't need to agree on everything. At the end of the day, we have that one major mission involved.
I'll let you answer that question. I'm not answering that.
No, that's not correct.
With a capital N and a capital O.
We have our own corporation. I don't know anything about what's her name, Christina Campbell's doing.
Yeah, let me clear it up. Back in I guess about the time my birthday was in November, Ms. Campbell made it very clear to everyone, including me, Dustin, and our landlord Sam, that she was no longer affiliated with Camp Freedom. So that cancels that bullshit right there.
So there you have it. I have
If
questions.
she's got an LLC, it's on whatever she's doing and she's not in Bunker Hill. She's in Martinsburg.
So yeah,
Just to clear that up.
she's not at the Bunker Hill address
There is
anymore.
nobody at Bunker Hill anymore. Y'all, right there is what makes you get. I have questions. You need to rearrange your question to put some facts in it, because there ain't nothing going on at Bunker Hill anymore. Got a lot of addresses of business with some very successful business people.
Well, thank you. I have questions, but yeah, we have our own separate entities.
If I sound a little rough, it's because I'm really tired of a lot of people bringing it up. You just happen to be the last one.
So, but no, we have nothing to do with her or any of her people. So, end of that topic.
Yeah, that's right, Debbie. We keep it that way. Full of facts. We stray away as far away as we can from the rumor mill.
Yeah. We
I like to cancel rumors sometimes.
Yeah, we talk about what we know. What anybody else is doing, that's their business, and you have to go ask them. That's the only thing I can say about that.
I have questions. I saw where you were asking that and nobody answered you in the other chat. That's just typical.
Yeah, Breeze. I have a feeling this is going to be a highly contested election season. It's even amongst the conservatives, there's a lot of. That's the bad part, the backbiting and you have to pull it together in harness. You can't pull separate and get anything accomplished.
Man, really, Breeze. That's weird.
See, I would talk, but there's so much traffic. I can't even hear myself talk.
Well, that's as it should be, because it, when it comes to something like that, if you're, and this is my opinion, if you're a first responder or anybody, paramedic, fire, or anything like that, it shouldn't matter what signs are in anybody's yard. You're there to serve the public trust.
Right, the public as a whole.
And that has nothing to do with politics. Politics don't matter in that interest. It's the whole public, not just certain segments of the public. Now, it's one thing if it was, a situation where they were in a neighborhood where, like South Chicago, where you might get shot at. That's one thing. But to say, well, they have a Trump sign in their yard, so I'm not going to, they're not part of my public trust. Well, it's everybody's public trust. It's not just mine or yours or liberals or conservatives or that you're apolitical. When you're on the job, you be whatever you want to be at home, but when you're on the job, you're apolitical.
That gives the meaning to public servant, where there's protect and serve. They're supposed to protect and serve we the people.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why when you put that uniform on,
Exactly.
you have no politics. You take the uniform off, have whatever politics you want. I'm shedding terribly, but you put that uniform on, you don't have politics. Where we go one, we go all. That's right, Mama Jan. And been looking at campgrounds out in your neck of the woods that are up for sale, Mama Jan. There's some interesting places in California. You can practically stumble over gold, but I don't know about California. As much as I love the gold in California, I'm not crazy about California politics. Just like Oregon. I love Oregon gold. Not crazy about the politics. Over on 395, what was the name of that? Weeds, I think, is one place that they had some. And what had one, and up near, I've read so many, it's hard to remember. Weeds, and seems like there was one up near Forestville, up along 80. It was north of 80. Up near Oroville. High Shadow. Yeah, that's right. Weed is on 15. Like I said, I open the real estate maps every couple of days and go through all the states that we're interested in that are gold bearing states, and go through and see if there's anything new come up. Shirley. Is that like those little boy ones? Oh, that's funny. But I've also been I was looking at, there's actually a place in Dahlonega that's right on a gold bearing creek.
Don't be teasing me.
It was 11 acres with rental houses on it.
Oh, she's teasing you.
Wait,
She's talking about rental houses.
Put out less than 100 in a year. Yeah, it's bad.
Mary, what state are you? Oh, New York State. No, New York State.
No, I love this.
I don't care. I don't know. I haven't heard of anybody who found any gold in New York, but New York State's kind of like California.
You ain't started playing. You gonna love them?
There's
not left.
some glacial gold in Illinois, Julie, but not a
Put
lot.
pictures on the bill.
Pockets here and there.
I don't think. He's level to the minor.
There's a right in California. It's not great. Is it glacier gold or
No, in
It's
Illinois, it's glacier gold.
vein gold? That's
Yeah, it's vein
The
gold.
river down there veins in the bottom. We got to do that big flood. All the gold shit back up there. No way to get it. All your big rivers out there.
Are you talking about? What are you talking about, Carl? When they were in Bunker Hill?
Yeah,
No. He was saying they have to say some oath we said when we joined the military.
No, he was talking about public service.
Oh, okay. Public works.
Keep up with the conversation there, Dustin.
I'm trying.
Let's
Oh,
see.
there you go.
Let's
Don't tease Q. He's been talking about going up to Maine.
well, I ain't talking. It's like,
Yeah, New Hampshire, Maine, they have gold.
it's happening as soon as we get back to Dahlonega and get my dredge.
You got your land dredge.
No, I need a dredge for the Swift.
No.
It's all rock up there. You can't use the land dredge in the rock.
Sure.
I thought you wanted to go to Arkansas
That's cool.
River.
Nah. Arkansas River's in Colorado.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where I was looking.
Yeah, it runs through Gunnison and out in that area. I like Arkansas.
Right down to Central Colorado. And it's cold. If it is glacial waters.
Talk about cold. I love the Colorado cold river water.
They do about air cold. In a wetsuit in Colorado or the Arkansas River. It's cold. Wetsuit lasts about an hour, then you gotta get out.
I don't know, Mama Shirley Knight. I didn't.
Most thing to have if you're gonna dredge in a glacier bed river is driving suit. They'll get cold and dry suit. They're expensive.
Well, I could personally say, Pop, thank you for getting me addicted to gold.
I shared the word. You blame me.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of
So he told me don't blame him, so I blame you, Miss Q. Thank you for getting me addicted.
You're welcome.
It's gonna want to fill up some more buckets. See how much more like sand and get out of the tray. You can do buckets and hammer and it'll be full.
We're at 47.
Next ball, yeah.
J6 is one of those people that likes to poke the bear but doesn't like it when the bear pokes back.
60 longest there.
Yeah, Breeze, we mine quartz and within the Murfreesboro where they have the crater of diamonds. Now, I do want to go to New York State and get some Herkimer diamonds. Now, that's the only,
Herkimer diamonds.
that's the only reason I want to go to New York State is to get some Herkimers. Yeah, I know, Carl. It's the cities. It's not the.
She said the only reason she wants to go to New York State is for Herkimer diamonds.
Already there.
Gotta fill some buckets up. Getting your guys in position.
Yeah,
Oh man.
why I'm not sure how Wyoming's gold or coal country, coal and gas. So I'm not sure. Well, you don't usually find gold where there's a lot of coal, because we're on here in Maryland. We're in coal country where we are. We're on the wrong side of the quartz belt to find gold here. You might find little pockets of glacier gold here and there, but you move a lot of material to find that little bit of gold. But you'd have to probably get up close to probably the Montana border, eastern Montana, where most of the wheat fields are and stuff. That's kind of a transition between coal country and the quartz belts. Sometimes, Charlene, it just depends on where you're at, and where they're in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, where Lost Dutchman Mining Association and GPAA has their camps set up. Those are known mines, the Loud Mine, Vane Mountain. We had in the early 1800s, there was an Eastern gold rush around the Great Falls area of Maryland, from, say, Frederick, Maryland, down through Eastern Virginia, Western North Carolina, Georgia, down through Central Alabama. There's a huge quartz belt that starts up in Maine and comes down through east of the Appalachian Trail. On the east side of the Appalachians, you have a quartz belt. On the west side, you have a coal belt. And if you stay on the east side, you have a good possibility of finding it. A fellow that Q graduated high school with got up with a farmer in Virginia that has gold on his property, and he's leased ground from the guy for several years and has done pretty good finding gold. It's a lot of work. It just depends on the area. If you're in Northern California, say north of Bakersfield, it's pretty good finding gold because they've already done a lot of mining there, did a lot of hydro mining. You had a lot of floods this spring and a lot of snow melt, so there's been a lot of movement in the gold. There for years during the drought, there wasn't much, it was staying pretty hidden because the water wasn't washing away the overburden. Missouri, not much gold, a lot of caves, a lot of limestone. We have coal mines around here, but we also have natural gas. So usually where you find coal and natural gas, you don't usually find gold because it's a different geology. You have a different kind of rock, and the East Coast gold came from geysers. West Coast gold came from volcanoes. So the Cascades and the mountains in California are all dormant volcanoes. So if the earthquakes and the volcanoes ever go off at the same time, we're probably going to lose the West Coast to the Rockies. Sorry about that, Mama Jan. Yeah, the caves in Missouri and Kentucky are really cool. I know one year for vacation, we went down through Kentucky and stopped and went through the Mammoth Caves. And of course, in Virginia, you have Luray Caverns and the Crystal Caves. In West Virginia, you have Smoke Hole Caverns. So, smoke holes are sandstone. I think the ones in Missouri are limestone. Well, Mama Jan, you're living on the San Andreas Fault and dormant volcanoes. We went on the way home, as we were coming east one time out of Happy Camp, and we went by what's it called, Mount Larson, the volcanic state park there, northeast of Sacramento. That was really cool. They have a lot of really cool obsidian. They have the mahogany and the black and a little bit of rainbow. I haven't seen a whole lot of rainbow around there, but they had buildings that had all kinds of obsidian in the walls and just, I mean, and they even have an earthquake station there that reads the earthquakes that still works. It's from, like the early 1800s. So yeah, the caves in Tennessee and Kentucky are, I mean, all the I've never been in a bad cave, but Q did a lot of spelunking when he was young, and we have a cave system here called Crabtree Cave, and it's one of those ones where you spend a lot of time crawling on your belly to get through. But he always had a good time. Always came out muddy at the other end. Yeah, the breeze. That's what I think of when I think of the caves in Missouri, was the outlaws that used to hide out in the caves. No, I haven't seen that, Carl. That sounds like a really cool place to visit. There are so many cool places in this country. That's why I can never understand people that ran. I mean, there's cool places in Europe and Ireland and the Caribbean, but there's so much in our own country that people don't know anything about. And you can drive there. You don't have to get on a plane. I'm not crazy about flying, but I haven't been on an airplane since 1980. Oh no, 2000 was the last time I was on a plane. We flew to Cancun. Well, yeah, you have Crystal Springs and Sarasota Springs, and I like to go down to the Keys, the Gulf side of the Keys. I think that's cool. But I like the Gulf side of Florida better than the ocean side. That's just me. And while they're getting ready to set up for another round with the high banker, I started to do this a while ago and I couldn't find them because somebody put them in the trash. I had been saving a couple of newsletters from the National Center for Constitutional Studies called the Weekly Constitution. And if you haven't signed up for their weekly newsletter, you really should. There's a lot of great stuff in it, a lot of great information it kind of keeps you on, well, I'll use you as the familiar you. For myself, and maybe for other people, it kind of helps you keep on track with the constitutionalist way of thinking. It keeps it out there in the forefront of your brain, so that, the next jack off that comes spouting, their untruths or their ignorance would probably be more in tune when they come spouting their ignorance. You can set them straight and get them back on the rails. And this particular one is called The Origin of Human Rights, a Founding Father's Perspective. Because everybody seems to connect human rights with the color of your skin. And that doesn't always have anything to do with human rights, just as the Uyghurs and so on and so forth all across the world. When discussing the origins of human rights, the Founding Fathers' convictions that these rights were endowed by their Creator, as stated in the Declaration of Independence, is a pivotal starting point. This belief that all men are created equal and endowed with unalienable rights was not just an assertion, but an ideal that would set the stage for the American experiment. However, it is important to recognize that while this principle was enshrined in one of the nation's founding documents, achieving true equality remained an ongoing struggle throughout history. This article will explore the Founding Fathers' perspective on their aspiration for equality and contrast between God-given human rights and the divine right of kings as expressed through their own words. While the Declaration of Independence proclaimed that all men are created equal, it is essential to acknowledge that this statement did not immediately translate into real equality for all individuals in America, just as the female half of the population. At the time of the founding, the institution of slavery persisted, and women were denied many basic rights. The Founding Fathers, though espousing the principle of equality, were products of their time, which is what people today forget, and society grappling with the complexities of these contradictions. Thomas Jefferson himself, the principal author of the Declaration, was a slaveholder, which has led to criticism and scrutiny of the apparent incongruity between his words and actions. Despite the ideal of equality, it would take decades and significant societal upheaval before slavery was abolished and substantial progress was made in the pursuit of civil rights for all, just as the Irish. Throughout history, the United States has continually strived to live up to the ideals set forth by the Founding Fathers, working to overcome systemic inequalities and discriminatory practices. The ongoing pursuit of equality remains a central theme in American society, emphasizing the dynamic and aspirational nature of the nation's founding principles. The distinction between God-given human rights and the divine right of kings was a crucial aspect in the Founding Fathers' philosophical framework. They sought to reject the idea of a monarch with absolute authority, claiming divine authority to rule over the people without any accountability. Instead, the founders championed the concept of natural rights endowed by a higher power, which neither governments nor kings could legitimately infringe upon. In 1765, Benjamin Franklin highlighted this critical distinction by invoking the historical precedent of John Hampden's legal battle with Charles I of England. Franklin stated, have you then forgotten the incontestable principle which was the foundation of Hampden's glorious lawsuit with Charles I, that what an English king has no right to demand, an English subject has a right to refuse. This reference to Hampden's struggle against the oppressive demands of a monarch underscored the idea that the rights of individuals were not subject to the whims of kings, but derived from a higher authority, making them inviolable. John Hampden's case against Charles I was a pivotal moment in history of the English constitutionalism, wherein he resisted paying an arbitrary tax, asserting that it was unlawful without parliamentary consent. This principle that subjects had a right to refuse demands that the king had no legitimate authority to make served as a foundation for the American colonists' argument against British oppression. John Adams, one of the key figures in the American Revolution, and later the second president of the United States, eloquently articulated this difference, saying, "Government is instituted for the common good, for the protection, safety, prosperity, and happiness of the people, and not for the benefit, honor, or private interest of any one man, family, or class of men, Therefore, the people alone have an incontestable, unalienable, and indefeasible right to institute government and to reform, alter, or totally change the same when their protection, safety, prosperity, and happiness require it. Adams' words highlighted that the legitimacy of government emanates from the people themselves and is not granted through divine appointment. The concept significantly shaped the foundation of the American Republic, where authority was derived from the consent of the governed rather than the mandates of a divine ruler. The Founding Fathers' views on human rights were a rejection of the notion that a king's authority came directly from God, endowing them with absolute power. Instead, they contended that governments should exist to secure the natural rights of individuals and promote the common welfare, recognizing that just powers of government derive from the consent of the governed. In conclusion, the Founding Fathers' belief in God-given human rights, as articulated in the Declaration of Independence, laid the groundwork for the principles on which the United States was founded. While this ideal of equality for all was not immediately realized and has been a work in progress, it remains a fundamental aspiration that continues to shape American society. The rejection of the divine right of kings and the embrace of God-given human rights established a radical new approach to governance, where the power of the state was derived from the consent of the governed. The ongoing pursuit of the equality and the safeguarding of unalienable rights are reminders of the enduring relevance of the Founding Fathers' vision in shaping the American experience. Benjamin Franklin's reference to John Hampden's lawsuit further emphasizes the long-standing historical struggle against oppressive authority and the inalienable rights of the individual. And that was written by Mike Kapik for the National Center of Conservative Study or Constitutional Studies weekly newsletter. So remember, as the governed, as we the people, we tell the government what we want in a peaceful and lawful manner. Yeah, Charlene, you dig too far. Yeah, you hit water. Most people, you dig down, you hit rock. You dig in Florida, you hit water. Yeah, Carl, I was reading some articles that, let's see, one of them blamed HAARP. One of them blamed a high energy weapon. I've seen all kinds of speculation as to what caused the wildfires in Maui. Not that, the volcanoes that made those islands would have anything to do with it either. But when you consider that the earth under Hawaii can crack open at any time, I mean, that's, your heart just goes out to the island of Maui. Had enough of she had enough of the sun for right now.
Unless you're trying to get suntan, sorry. She loves that sun.
Thought you were going to put the canopy up.
I thought I was too. You got busy getting gold. Everything stops when you get gold.
Yeah.
Even wet feet.
Well, your shoes ought to be about dried out from last night. Oh, another
I
pair.
got my old boots. I got my water shoes. They're probably dry.
And we've been going at it for
Got my tennis shoes ready to dig up.
2.5 hours, and my voice is about to go.
Sure
So-
am glad y'all joined us for getting some real money.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. And if you give us just a little bit of time, I don't know if you say anything about it or not, but we will be revisiting the idea of gold camps,
Yeah.
which will be named 1776 Camp Freedom.
And except instead of building it from the ground up, we'll find one that's already
By the gold.
by the goal. I
I
found
think
one.
we did a good job for 2 people.
We get the first couple that way. Yeah. We just find in. By the time we do something like that, the third one they'll be able to just build it.
There was a nice place out in Empire, Colorado,
Their work.
on a stream.
Then the Empire.
Has a small campground, has cabins,
Yep.
reasonably
Now-
priced.
The thing is, we got to turn Colorado.
Now you're
red.
talking about language. Good old Colorado. Oh, man.
The only bad thing about Colorado is the gold is fine.
More than half the state is liberal.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about the state's politics if I'm looking at their gold.
We ain't gonna be where the politics are. Where we're gonna be, make our own politics. You steal my gold, I shoot you.
Yes, and I want to thank everybody that shared their Sunday afternoon with us for the last 2.5 hours. We appreciate you stopping by. And we've missed y'all.
Stay in
And
touch, because we're gonna do more.
we're going to do
Gotta
more.
We're going to camp pretty soon. You talk about that
Well, we hadn't really, I guess we're going back to camp Wednesday,
Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday. We're going back to camp.
And you are saying we, so that's cool.
Well,
We'll get you a different mattress.
yeah, I have to go to the courthouse Monday, so Tuesday afternoon will work, or
All we
Wednesday
gotta
morning.
do is get the eggshell stuff put on top of that memory foam.
Yeah,
Be just fine.
I hate memory foam. I can't sleep on memory foam.
You ain't the one that had to sleep with it.
And Shirlene, got your pictures. Loved your pictures.
Absolutely.
And oh, that's cool. I can't wait to see them. But thanks everybody for being here with us. Great conversation this evening.
Oh, Charlene's doing hydroponics. Cool.
Yes,
That's real cool.
hydroponics have always fascinated me, but
All
I've
you gotta
never,
study is your nutrients.
I've never
They
had time to
your
do that.
plants.
We did a hydroponics experiment one time with something called the closet.
We grew an alien.
We grew some kind of alien.
It's supposed to
Cannabis.
be cannabis, but it was an alien.
It was supposed to be a little short cannabis plant, but it was a
We were in
alien.
the lights, the fan,
Yeah,
filter.
took over the whole Well, what it was this company took a metal office supply storage cabinet and made it a grow cabinet that you could seal up.
Like a high school locker.
Yeah.
It's tall and skinny. Yeah, that's hydroponics is cool. You grow stuff really fast.
Cool, Mama Jan. You be safe on your trip.
Absolutely.
We went along Big Sur there one day. That was a really cool trip. And then, like a week after we were there, the road washed out with the monsoon season.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we got a picture of a big pink truck in Big Sur.
yeah, on the Bixby Bridge. And,
Gotta post some of them trucking pictures where we're at west. It has to do with the 11 Western.
yeah, we've had a lot of fun on the West Coast.
We've done a lot of trucking out west of Mississippi. Pacific, cool deal. I know where that is.
Yeah. So
Is that a strawberry field? I think it's.
I don't know. I'd have to look and see if
they
that's.
got field at Pacific. I like
But be safe in your travels, and everybody else, be safe, be blessed. Love y'all. More
that.
later.
No. Thank you.
More later.
Later.